Welcome to the 100th edition of Chart Talk. I'm Tony Ogorek. I'm here with Jeff Viksjo. And Jeff, today we're going to be talking about Social Security, Medicare, the fact that people who are older are a lot wealthier than they were years ago. And we're looking at some of the reasons why that might be the case and what it might mean for taxes and benefits going forward. So we have the first chart here. And what we're seeing is sort of an interesting move by people who are older, right?
Yeah, this shows the share of household wealth held by adults 70 or older. So this is the baby boomer generation primarily. You could see it was hovering around 20%, from 1990 to 2005. And then really just the last, 15 years or so, it's really taken off. And now it's, at 27%. It's an all-time high. This could be because we had really strong markets in stocks and bonds, housing prices took off, or it could just be inheritances too, Tony.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, Jeff, it wasn't always like this. In 1935, when Social Security was initiated, it was meant to put a floor in there for people who were older because they were impoverished. They had nothing. 30 years later, in 1965, Lyndon Johnson came out with this Great Society and put in Medicare, which was, again, covering medical expenses for older people. And so with those two entitlement programs in place, it really sort of set the table for this increase in wealth to the point now where the Social Security taxes, the premiums, and the Medicare, premiums are generating a $650 billion a year deficit. In other words, what they're collecting in taxes is not covering their costs. And that's really one of the prime drivers of the deficits that everybody talks about, but nobody wants to mention these entitlement programs. So, Jeff, when you've got that money, let's go to the next chart. What's the natural progression here?
Yeah, those that have the most money can spend the most. And we're seeing 65 years and older population is spending more than everybody else. And we haven't seen that really in the last 20 years. There is just a great number of people in that age group, so that's part of it. But they also have a lot of wealth to spend.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to be seeing perhaps going forward is a movement to try to deal with these entitlement costs. They are out of control. They're going to continue to do that as probably 15,000 people a day continue to reach age 65. So there are going to be some political fireworks over the next few years, has to be addressed, but you can see where that ends up driving a lot of what's going on in our economy today. So thank you, Jeff, and thank you for sticking with us for this 100th episode of Chart Talk.